Hi, today we're going to make a wristlet, key fob, whatever you want to call it. You're going to need one strip of fabric. This was just off a fat quarter, and it is 4 inches by 13, I think. And the same for the interfacing. So I'm going to iron that on. All right, we're going to take our interfacing and we're going to take the bumpy side and put it to the wrong side of our fabric, and we're going to center it. We're going to want to leave the end with no interfacing. It'll just make it easier when we join that. And just line it up and go. I'm going to stand up for this. This was my grandmother's little ironing board or sleeve board. Oh, and guess what? I did find my iron after I went and bought one. It's in the spare room. That was behind a bunch of tubs of fabric. Alright, then I like to turn it over and do it on the front. Alright, I'm going to turn that steam off. It's a little too much. Alright. Now I'm going to trim off this excess interfacing that I didn't cut that straight. Just get that off there. And there's a little piece over here. Alright. Now, get off of there. We're going to take it and fold it in half and press it. All the way down. Turn it this way. Alright, now, what you're going to do is you're going to open it up, and you're going to fold and press each side up to that fold line. I start on one side and then I work on the other. Although it's kind of hard on this tiny iron. But I have too much stuff on the ironing board. I have other projects in the works. So, that's all right. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to take it right up to the fold, not all the way, because you want to leave a little space in the middle so you get a nice crisp wristlet, and they're not fighting each other's ends to get in there. Yeah, I got out the big iron because that little iron, it just doesn't do well for actually needing stuff to have a nice crease. That's more for like just ironing your blocks as you go type thing. Alright, now we're going to take them and put them together like that. That's what it looks like folded. This is the other side. Now we're going to take and fold those ends in and press all the way. And just line them up and give it a good press. All right, so here it is, all pressed together. All right, now we're going to take our strip and just open it up enough. I've got my snap hook right here. And I'm going to put it on so that it's kind of facing the middle of the strap. Like, well, it doesn't matter because you can turn it. Put that on. Then you're going to take your two ends and put them together. Open them up. And you're going to clip those together. And then you're going to stitch right along there. I have the two pieces I folded back open. Now I'm going to stitch right along there. And I'm going to do 1/2 inch. You're going to want to back stitch and just go right across. Back stitch. Get all my threads off. And see it, we stitched there. That's the wrong side and that's the right side. Okay, now we're going to refold everything. We're going to fold it back in. And I like to finger press this seam open. But since my iron's right here and it's actually on for a change, I'm going to press those seams open. Just so be less bulk. All right, my seam's open. Now we're just going to press everything back into the center and then fold it. And then I clip that together. It seems a little big there. We might have to go back. And just line up those edges. Right along there is where you really want to line them up. All right, now there's that snap hook. I'm going to turn it so that it's facing out of the circle. Here's the circle. We want the snap hook up here. And then I'm just going to keep going around and lining up those edges, folding everything back in. Oh. And you don't have to use this many. You can use as little or many. If you don't want to use pins, you don't have to. Then I'm going to turn my stitch length up to a 4. And then I'm going to start right before that join, if I can find it, where we join the seam. And it's right there. So I'm going to start back here. And I'm just going to line it up. And I'm going to sew the open edge first. And I'm going to back just once. All right. Now I'm just going to stitch around this at 1/8 of an inch. Right on the very edge. Just make sure everything's lined up as you go. All right, I'm getting to where that snap hook is. I just want to move that out of the way and then continue along. And just keep moving that snap hook out of the way. And if you have trouble staying in line, you can use a compensating foot or even one of those blind hem foots where you can see where to go. Now I'm going to clip all these threads, and then I will be going up the other side. Start near the same spot, but not in the exact spot. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing and just stitch right along the edge. One back stitch. And you could use a thicker thread for this so you have some nice top stitching. But I'm just using my cotton. I don't have time to change it while I do, but let's just say I'm not going to. So, and then just keep moving that snap hook right out of the way. And go right to where you started. Back stitch. And cut off all your threads. Alright, I've cut all my threads. Now, whoops, somehow this got, there we go. I'm going to move the seam up underneath the snap hook. And then you just put a rivet right there. If you don't have a rivet, you can just sew across. I'm going to sew across, and I'll probably still put a rivet in. I'm just going to back stitch. All right. Let me cut all these threads, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And I have other videos where I show how to put a rivet in. And if you're hard on your straps, you could always put another stitch line against here. But there's my nice wristlet strap.